All right. How you doing? I'm Corey.
I'm Logan.
I'm the special guest star, Taylor. I'm kidding. That was
Yeah, we have a special guest star.
Special guest flaw.
She's going to fit in real nice with this topic, and you'll understand why. We wanted someone of the female persuasion here to give some input. It's always nice to have that. Me and Logan are guys, and we don't look at things the right way sometimes, and, I think a strong, independent woman over here.
Yeah, because I'm completely fucking clueless.
Wasn't going to say anything, but yeah.
Oh, Corey, stop with the compliments.
So,
That's big enough.
this is shit you didn't know. And in this, I usually tell just Logan a story he doesn't know. But this time I'm telling Logan and Taylor a story they don't know.
Story time, story time.
I know, I always get so excited.
It is similar when I read to my kids at night, isn't it? Except I drink a lot more for this one. So we are not having a hipster beer series this week because you probably hear it on the recording. I did some shots, and what did you? I tried this whiskey called Heaven's Door.
Yep.
It is Bob Dylan's whiskey. Bob Dylan, as you know, the great songwriter and also mumbler in chief. I really like that. You said it was 100 proof?
It was 100 proof double barrel whiskey.
I fucking believe it. So yeah.
And we have wine.
Yeah. We got Taylor some wine.
And probably every other liquor.
Yeah. But Taylor wisely is not taking shots of everything. Good for her.
Just rum.
Just
and
kind
then
of
she
keeping the
died.
men in
Just
line.
one. Just
Keeping
one
the men
shot.
in line. I like it. Thank you.
We also have actually Voodoo Ranger.
Yes.
That 9% alcohol.
Oh, yes. So, I had a beer called Voodoo Ranger, and Logan provided it. It was really good. Very impressed by it. It was 9% alcohol, so that's a selling point for people. I know it is for me.
I gotta plug my favorite beer for free.
So, whoever makes Voodoo Ranger, maybe if you hear this, send us some money. We're not trying to advertise for you, but we're kind of doing it, so your beer's really good.
So do I need to advertise Aldi's wine?
Yeah, Winking Out Wine
Just
by
advertise
Aldi's.
Aldi.
Send us some money, you kraut motherfuckers.
Then we're definitely
Aldi
gonna
is
get
a
that
German
grant.
company.
I was going to say something, but I'm not going to.
No, we encourage that here.
Hey!
So,
So what
I'm
you're not
kidding,
saying-
no.
okay, we'll start. We're bantering too much.
Yeah.
411 BCE, ancient Greece. The comedy Lysistrata is written in Athens by Aristophanes. The story is about the determination of Athenian women to end the Peloponnesian War by withholding sex from their husbands and lovers in order to force the men to negotiate for peace. Quite a tactic. This play is notable for two reasons. One, it ends with a giant orgy.
Always a good way to end things, I guess. I don't
You
know.
had me at a giant.
In an orgy, it's weird. Sometimes you come and go, but when you go to an orgy, you go and then you come.
Sometimes you gotta come back.
It is. And your roommate apparently likes to watch that. So the second reason it is notable is that it is the first time anywhere in human history that sex toys are mentioned in writing. In the play, Lysistrata tells her friend Metro, "And so, girls, when fucking time comes, not the faintest whiff of it anywhere, right? From the time those Milesians betrayed us, we can't even find our 8-fingered leather dildos. At least they'd serve 8 fingers.
Eight? My
8 fingers.
God.
At least they'd serve as a sort of a flesh replacement for our poor cunts."
Talk about Octopussy, really, Logan? That was a good
Octopussy?
one.
But, so, Game of Thrones is more realistic than we thought
Yep.
initially. Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought was Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. The fucking 8. What is it? 8-fingered leather dildo. How I don't even want to know how that works. Anyway, but it's entirely possible that dildos go back even further. Archaeologists have found phallic-shaped instruments going back 28,000 years, including one found in Germany made of stone that was 20 centimeters long, which is 7.87 inches. Although this could have been used as a weapon. So there's notches on it.
Person never stood a chance.
Hey, why not both, right? Why not both?
That really should have been in 300.
This is Spartacus. I'm going to put this dildo in my ass.
That's why he was so angry.
Sparta!
He's going to penetrated. So dildos were extremely popular in Greek culture. So popular that often Greek soldiers would give them to their wives as a parting gift when they went to war. Here, honey, this is how you will remember me. Can you make it like 3 inches longer? Does it have to look just like yours? Maybe a little thicker? Less pubic hair?
Darker?
You have one of those where it's like 2 different shades? I kind of like those.
Smooth, no warts.
So these dildos were typically made with leather, wood, or stone.
Leather and what?
Wood or stone.
Okay.
It's-
Ooh, wood? Ooh, what if
Ooh.
you had splinters?
I never thought about that.
Oh. Ouch. Or like the branch of
Yeah,
the twig poking out.
don't even think about it. So the Greeks often use olive oil for lubrication.
The olive oil?
Yeah. Good in a salad, good in your asshole.
After 3 times, that dildo would be cured and would be completely weather resistant.
So,
Oh, stone though.
these.
These wasn't sandstone.
So when your husband says you want to get stoned, it's not as good as it sounds. So the ancient Egyptians were also fairly liberal about sex toys. In fact, it was believed that the ebb and flow of the Nile River was directly correlated to the strength of the pharaoh's orgasm.
Interesting.
That's some heavy shit on the pharaoh, right? Like, oh,
That was
man,
a heavy load.
Honey, I gotta come hard, or people are gonna fucking starve to death, man. So it is believed that when heavy rain was needed, that the pharaoh's wife would stick a phallic object, a phallus. Sorry, I wrote phallus. That's a dildo. So she would stick a dildo in his prostate while he sat in her lap and masturbated.
Interesting.
So
Romance is lost these days. I'm totally kidding.
that's that is only something you could do with your wife. You can't do that on a first date. It is also rumored that Cleopatra made a makeshift vibrator out of a container of live bees.
That is true. I learned that in my community college human sexuality class.
Well, I guess that's some shit Taylor already knew.
So that's where the buzz came from.
Yeah. It's a fucking owl. It's one of those things escapes.
Well, it was closed, so I mean the bees probably couldn't like buzz up in there.
Why can't the thing that went in the pharaoh's asshole will also go into her vagina? Is she too good for that?
I'm just saying, like, you gotta know at least one point a bee escaped.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it stung her on the vagina and that was like a new thing for her.
Maybe that's when she went, "Fuck you, Mark Anthony." Then, like,
I don't need you, I just need my bees. So in China, bronze dildos were found in Han Dynasty tombs, dating back to 200 BCE. You know that had to be its paternity prank, right? Wang died. Stick a dick in his mouth. He goes in the ground.
And it's bronze, so it's shiny.
Hey man, it's what he would have wanted. So then came the rise of the 3 monotheistic religions. Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. They fucking ruined everything. The enhancement of sexual pleasure was now considered to be sinful. Sex under these religious Sex under these religious institutions was strictly for procreation.
There's a little Gandalf, thou shalt not pass.
So obviously, this must have meant no eye contact missionary, followed by a firm handshake. Right?
You're supposed to handshake after sex?
Maybe a crisp.
In these religions.
A crisp high five.
That was good. Can you lay there more silent next time? But just because sex toys were not accepted in a society does not mean they weren't being used by women all over the world. 15th century Chinese women used dildos of lacquered wood. They also used another toy that originated in Asia until it expanded westward. Benoit balls. Benoit balls are kind of the rudimentary version of anal beads, but they could go in the vagina as well. So in the 16th and 17th centuries, aristocratic families in the West had dildos made of silver or iron. Dildos also started making their way into body and risque songs. The preferred material in this day and age for dildos was glass. Fucking out.
Well, they still make glass ones today.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, my question is, with the silver ones, after all that, we still have to polish it.
Well, I mean, now, like back then it probably wasn't smooth, but like now with everything you can get a smooth glass.
I guess, but this is the 1500s we're talking about. People they couldn't read back then.
Well, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like now.
What if you got
then,
What if you got the intern that day, and you ordered the dildo and it just broke in your asshole or vagina? I mean, yeah, like I said, fuck it out. So often they would take these glass dildos and they'd fill them with warm water or milk so that the dildo could be brought to body temperature. The Italian writer Pietro Fortini refers in his novella De Novice that glass filled with warm water was often used by nuns to quell the gnawing of the flesh and satisfy themselves as well as they can. He also mentioned they were used by pregnant and widowed women. So he also mentioned that this was used by pregnant and widowed women, and that sometimes they were filled with urine.
Ew. Well, you know, like.
Fucking Trump would have been all over that.
Oh. Well, you know, like.
It's the color
and
of
I'm
my
sorry
hair.
if I'm jumping ahead here, if maybe you do have it written, but like, the first contraceptives were made out of goat shit.
I did not have that in there.
Oh,
tell us. Yeah, what? They were made out of goat
Nature!
shit.
Yeah, like.
I heard
used
it.
it.
I actually heard alligator shit.
It was some sort of animal feces, fecal matter.
That's so gross.
That they would
That
like
is a hell of a
stuff
yeast
in there.
infection.
They would either like stuff it in there or like it would go around the dude's genitals.
You just
But
guide me
it's
my
true.
shepherd.
That was like.
Wait, so is it a contraceptive or a cock ring? Because that sounds like a cock ring.
Well, they used it as some sort of contraceptive, I think.
Okay, well that's ew.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I could be wrong, so if someone out there hears this and corrects me, no offense
Yeah.
taken.
What? No one on YouTube would freak out about a minor
There are
fact.
people out there.
Okay. So William Shakespeare even referenced dildos in his play, The Winter's Tale, in which a servant described a peddler who had just stopped by with such delicate burthens of dildos and fadings. Jumper and Thumper. What do you think it was?
They call me Thumper. I just thought of Bambi, I'm sorry.
You think Thumper had like a gag ball in his mouth at any point?
I mean,
Hey, Bambi.
Andy's mom has the same toys named Woody and Buzz.
Hey, Bambi, you want to go to like a Tupperware party?
Just Thumper wearing the Gimster from Pulp Fiction.
To this day, I still cannot watch that part. I'm like, nope, can't watch it.
No, the creepiest part is when he's.
I don't know. I always just kind of. It's like that scene in American History X.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
bad.
So
It's
moving
bad.
forward.
Yeah, hard to watch that with your pants on.
We're never gonna finish this.
But so many women would not own dildos due to the taboo aspect of sex toys at this time. But
So
many,
nothing's changed.
no. So
America.
it's very insightful. But many women still had needs that simply weren't being met. And in France in the 1730s, they tried to form a solution. Doctors in France began diagnosing women with hysteria. The first time a clinical term had been given to a general umbrella of symptoms that doctors have been noticing since the Middle Ages in many women. At this time, it was believed that the retention of fluids in the uterus led to feelings of discomfort, irritability, aggression, melancholia, excessive gas.
I mean,
A lot of factors in
Symptoms.
there, yeah.
I mean, of course, a woman's gonna get irritable when she hasn't like had an orgasm in God knows how long.
It's, so men know this as blue balls.
That's a myth.
A lot similar. So French doctors were the first to give this ailment a name. Of course, it wouldn't be the French, right? So in 1734, French doctors invented the Très Monsieur. Très Monsieur, which was technically which was technically the first vibrator ever invented, although it was very rudimentary, one that was powered by a wind-up key. So yeah, I mean, the French, if it was going to be anybody who invented the
That's
first
fucking
sex toy.
revolutionary.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
it was
there
like-
were. I'll wait till
It's
we
like
go
those
further
little, like,
ahead before I
arse-
say. I don't want to ruin anything.
It's like
with
those
that.
little cars that you wind up and let run.
Oh man, I was just there.
Sacre bleu.
So, but it was still only prescribed in very extreme cases, and most doctors at the time told their female patients to either try horseback riding or marrying a man with a very healthy sexual appetite.
Didn't we already have a podcast that was like getting cured by horseback riding?
No. That wasn't me.
No, there
That
was
reminds. Oh, go ahead, son.
I thought we did a podcast and it said like, if you, it was like something with the lungs or whatever. Like you have to horseback ride. I think it was like our third or fourth part.
I'll have to go back on that. I don't remember that one.
Anyway.
So damn it, where was I? So the Très Monsieur was still considered a medical device. The doctors began their first steps in understanding that female orgasms were not only possible, but that they were also beneficial to a woman's overall health. Then came the Victorian age, and with it came a very conservative and restrained attitude towards sexuality. Imagine that, right? Ironically, this period produced many inventions that were sexually related that were targeted to men and women. These devices were not meant to enhance sex, but to repress sexual desires. In this era, doctors believed that men were born with a finite amount of semen.
How can you repress it by that?
You'll see.
Okay.
So they thought that men were born with a finite amount of semen, and that emitting semen unnecessarily during masturbation harmed young men and made them feel less energetic, more lethargic, and less motivated during work hours. So imagine this: you're like, you're having a bad day, maybe you're hungover, and your boss looks at you. You've been jerking off too much, haven't you? Getting fucking lazy. So, you quit that jerking off before you come to work now.
But it puts you in a better mood sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. No, I get it. They didn't understand. They also thought too much masturbation could drive men insane, and also give them hairy palms.
Also make you go blind too, apparently.
First time friction would ever grow hair.
So Armenian boys really jerk off a lot.
That's down.
Man, I'd hate to be a member of that like family that hold a Guinness World Record for being the hairiest.
Oh my god. I'm like getting nauseous thinking about that. I don't like that. So there were inventions made in this area to inhibit sexual desires. This included a belt worn around the penis that included a water cooling system that flushed cold water to the penis when it became erect. Kind of like a radiator in a
Interesting.
car. Yeah.
So almost
Again,
like a
revolutionary.
Yeah. Another had clips attached to pubic hair that would pull out if the penis began to rise.
Ouch.
No.
Ouch.
Hey, that's Tiffany from up the street. Oh, fuck!
Look away, Harlan.
Do you like my sundress?
Trim and the haircut.
God. Another triggered an operetta that would be played on a gramophone if the penis rose. So.
Wait, say that again?
So. It's a device that was triggered to like a portable stereo, and if you got an erection, they would play this operetta, like this music. Whenever you got an erection,
that would definitely make it go
so
away.
What song you think would be nowadays be able to just kill an erection immediately?
Ooh.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That song that goes, in the arms of an angel. That one.
That makes me want to adopt a dog. You know?
My heart
You see
will,
all of them, if that doesn't kill your erection, you're fucked.
my heart will go on.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Anything
my
from
God.
Bloodhound Gang?
No,
Baby.
my personal one is the Grease soundtrack. Anything on the Grease soundtrack?
Hey, grease is the word.
Yeah. You see, you're killing my boner right now. For the women, it didn't
Go
get any
grease
less.
lightning, you're burning up the quarter.
Oh, I fucking hate that movie.
It's not
There's a history of me and the movie Grease. I really don't like it. It's never come up in this podcast, but maybe if I do more and drink more, I'll go into that.
He loved John Travolta's later roles.
I like Pulp Fiction because he got killed in it. That's why.
But he wasn't hot. He got fat and
Little
old.
do you know, Corey's favorite movie is Michael.
That movie's sad.
Only because he didn't die sooner. So,
Oh wait.
I really don't like John Travolta. I'll go into it.
Sandy.
So for the women, it didn't get any less weird, and the doctors had a very unconventional way of treating hysteria. So women began going to doctors' offices so they could receive an orgasm from the doctor, usually done with clitoral stimulation. Yes, that's right. Women in the second half of the 19th century began booking appointments in mass so that doctors could finger fuck them to orgasm in their office.
So I wanted to give a definition for hysteria, by the way.
Okay.
Exaggerated or uncontrollable emotion or excitement, especially among a group of people. Group of people parts are relevant, but there's hysteria.
My God, that sounds. You know what that sounds like? You ever heard these housewives? They have like group parties where they all watch those housewives shows. That sounds like hysteria right there. That's.
All I gotta say
Okay, I'm
is,
glad you got to that point because I remember learning, I think in somewhere, I don't know, but like women would make appointments just so they could have an orgasm.
Yeah.
Men, husbands, do your jobs.
Yeah,
all
well,
I'm gonna say is, maybe there's more to Tupperware parties than it seemed.
It's like where to put your sex toys in.
Yep, it really is. So the doctors who performed this act saw it as a medical necessity. The women would be clothed, and other people would typically be in the room.
It's kind of weird how back then it was treated as like a, I don't want to say illness, but something that was quote unquote treatable, and they didn't look at it as like a sexual.
Well, the Victorian era, they have a, it's very religious. They have like a chastised version of sex, and they thought.
No, I just mean like with women going to the doctors to.
Yeah, it seems you have a man at home, So, then in 1869, technology came into play. American physician George Taylor patented the manipulator, a motorized table with a throbbing ball in the middle. This was improved upon in 1883 when British physician Joseph Granville patented the first electromechanical vibrator. So there's a theory that Granville invented the vibrator because of the pain from finger fucking all these horny British women.
I guess okay. So the manipulator definitely doesn't sound misogynistic.
No. I mean, it's kind of fitting since men.
See, when your wife gets angry, you just sit around this table and then.
You want that boat? You'll get that boat.
And she has her lady pulsations, and then she leaves you alone for a while.
And she starts nagging you about doing the dishes and mowing
Put her on the
grass.
table, take her off, give her the children. Weekend.
So I guess the theory is his hand was started hurting because he would sit there like, I mean, I don't, how would these work? I mean, you sat down and like, you know, like, well, let's pretend like, Miss Stahl.
Don't say my last name.
I mean, Miss Smith. Sit in this chair, would you? Put your legs up.
I would imagine it was almost like a gynecologist appointment where you're a puppet.
Yeah.
It's like, so how are the kids? And
they're good. They're good.
put your feet up, scoot down a little
put
bit.
your feet up. You lay down, and you know, he's just like, okay, I'm gonna. So, is it 2 fingers or 3 fingers?
You're gonna feel a little pressure here. Curl your toes if it starts to hurt.
Do you like your pinky? Do you like my pinky in your asshole?
Here's my question though. Did these doctors wear gloves?
Ooh.
I just hope they didn't spit on
God, you know, I never thought about that. Oh,
like,
man.
did they use a lubrication or did they
Maybe they
use
just
their
smelled
bare
their hand. Maybe they just spit on their hand after.
Well, that's what Logan said. I hope they didn't do that.
You think they went home and
You never want to start with that in here.
Their wives wanted them to fuck them?
How was your day, honey? Well, another woman came in, honey. She had hysteria. You know, you're working a lot of appointments late, honey.
Why are your fingers so red?
Oh.
So.
I mean, I guess that's better than brown.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is from getting raw.
Oh, God. So in 18... so that theory, you know, so necessity is the mother of invention, right? Yeah. So I think that's what it was with that. So in 1899, the first vibrator was marketed for home use. It was called the Vibratile.
The what?
The Vibratile.
The Vibratile.
It was marketed as a face massager, not a sex toy.
That's what I saw at Brookstone.
Yeah,
face massagers.
In their ad, it promises to remove wrinkles and crow's feet, cure headaches and neuralgia, which is, I guess, the 1899 version for fibromyalgia, which I call lazy bitch disease.
Which is what? Elaborate more on this, please.
They also promise to give health and vigor to the skin and remove facial blemishes.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're glowing after you shoot. Yep.
Oh, all right. Do I have dishes to do, or?
I'm walking on sunshine.
Is that why your eyes wrote "Bark at the Moon"?
Yeah. Possibly. So it was sold for anywhere. It was sold for anywhere from $5 to $10 in 1899. Then in 1902.
I mean, I understand money was hard to come by then, but damn, that's cheap. Now they're like twice as much. As more than that. 6 times as much.
They probably lasted longer back then. Then in 1902, Hamilton Beach patented the first electric vibrator. There is a vibrator that has. So it was only the. Sorry. Anyway, so it was only the 5th domestic appliance that was electrified, coming after the sewing machine, tea kettle, toaster, and fan. So
you plug it in into an outlet.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Yeah. So.
These things are huge.
What is the sequence of this? So women go like, look, I want to sew things, and I want to enjoy some tea while I do it, and I want to toast some bread, and I need a fan to cool myself off, and obviously, right after that, I need to come.
Well, I feel like the fan would come after that because you need the fan after to cool yourself off. After, not before.
No, the fan was fourth.
During.
The fan was fourth. It must have been hot. So it soon began appearing in the Sears and Roebuck catalog, and it was marketed for sore muscles.
Oh, yep, that is one sore muscle.
So
that's why Sears isn't around anymore. They stopped the marketing on that.
Bad investments.
Yep.
So then
making into America.
So then manufacturers began making hand crank models available for sale. These expanded on the machines available to cure other ailments, including gout, rheumatism, toothaches, influenza, and indigestion. It's too much Taco Bell. Try this vibrator.
I just want to see the one idiot that doesn't know that it's practically a dildo and just goes, "It'll be great for my gout."
So in the ads, they had both men and women using them.
Where were the men using them?
On their feet for gout. For the gout. So
Is that what they called it back then?
yeah, the gout.
Honey, I have the gout.
I have the gout. You need to find where the clit is.
Well, the woman would be able to find it.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
So, then in the 1920s, vibrators became so popular that they began appearing in the earliest pornographic movies. Yes, pornos go back to the 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And of course, when religious groups across the country started...
Could you imagine the silent pornograph film?
You-
Hi! Like, here's a pizza with the words written down.
What if they did solo shows with the hand crank? Do you think they just put in the background?
So, then... in the 1920s, vibrators. Okay, so when they appeared in like porn movies, the religious groups across the country started figuring out what people were doing with the vibrators. They decided that they would try to put a stop to that. So for the next decade, ads for vibrators disappeared out of magazines, which had currently been very popular in the 20s. Now, we wouldn't want you ladies to have any enjoyable sexual experiences.
Nothing's changed.
You keep having joyless sex with your husband, just like God intended.
That just make like
Lay there and think about cooking.
and cleaning and taking care of the children. Don't enjoy this. Don't enjoy life, period, woman. You don't deserve it. God, misogynistic assholes.
So, now, this isn't to say that vibrators were outright banned. In fact, they grew in popularity over the next several decades, despite the lack of public ads for the product. So word was spread orally.
But
Yes. So, over the years, manufacturers attempted to make vibrators more portable. In the 30s, they began to make them in different colors and patterns. And they started to be associated with a beauty product as opposed to a medical device. So they're marketed a little bit differently. Then in the 40s, it was marketed as a weight loss aid. So, how does that work? Orgasm your way to six-pack abs.
I mean, when you clench and you feel those
I
abs
guess,
come
yeah.
in, it's like when you laugh.
Yeah, but I don't know. So in the early 50s, manufacturers added a strap and a suction cup. I think it's a pretty good idea. So then came the late 60s and the sexual revolution. And with it, the Hitachi magic wand. Hitachi magic wand. It was described as the...
Oh, magic wand!
Yeah.
The original power tool.
The original power tool. It was described as the Cadillac of vibrators. So,
That's the best they could do, Cadillac? No.
I don't know, so enjoy.
Did they have them white walls?
Oh my god. I think it's mostly in white, the color. So although it was obvious what its use was for, it was still sold under the guise of a personal massager. The Hitachi Magic Wand is consistently rated as one of the best sex toys ever made and can be purchased for $55 on Amazon. Taylor, why are you checking your phone right now?
I was actually looking up because I remember learning something in my...
Why are you on Amazon.com and ordering the Hitachi Magic
it
Wand?
was eBay. No, I was actually
One
looking...
quick buy.
Damn, someone outbid me.
Don't get a used one. No.
No, because I remember learning in my
not
human
cast iron.
sexuality class that it was illegal to own like X amount, and in the state of Texas, it is illegal to own more than... Okay.
So
Oh, I'm jumping ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, a little bit. So over the next 3 decades, different types of designs of vibrators were being constantly developed. One in particular was the Rabbit. The Rabbit is unique as it
Back
provides...
to Thumper.
Yeah. So
I can't thump my foot, but...
So, The rabbit is unique as it provides both vaginal and clitoral stimulation simultaneously. In 1998, the rabbit was the center of an episode of Sex and the City, where the character Charlotte, I wrote Charlotte, what's the hot brunette one?
Carrie? No, Carrie's...
No, not Sarah Jessica Parker.
I don't know, I never watched Sex and the City.
The black-haired one. That's the one I thought was hot. That's the one I liked. So she loves her vibrator, her rabbit, that she got so much that she won't go out with her friends anymore. To try to get men. Despite the rabbit being patented for 10 years, sales soared after this episode aired. And apparently this was like a big thing. So presently, it is estimated that half of all women over the age of 18 have used a dildo or vibrator in their lives. And they have come up with some more interesting designs over the last 20 years, including a Hello Kitty vibrator.
It was Charlotte, by the way.
Charlotte. Okay, it was Charlotte. That's what I said. That's what I said. Yeah, Charlotte.
So a Hello Kitty vibrator.
Hello Kitty vibrator. Which, that's really weird. I'm sorry.
Meow. And the meow.
So, a rubber ducky vibrator meant for the back.
Quack, quack. Quack, 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 quack.
You make bath time so much fun.
So,
is that where that song originated?
So it's meant to go in the bath, and it has a gag ball in its bill, and is dressed in pink leather.
Pulp Fiction, what is this?
So there's also a vibrator that looks like a tongue.
Was it marketed by Kiss?
I don't know.
By Gene Simmons.
That motherfucker will put his name on anything, won't he?
I mean, that's why they
yeah.
get so much money.
So, a yoga ball that has a dildo shaped into it. They have those available. God, when I took
Namaste on this yoga ball.
When I took yoga class, I would have really liked some of the women to have been on that. I'm gonna be honest with you. So,
just because of the yoga pants.
Yeah, there's also a dildo, a butt plug that has a rainbow feather on it that is designed specifically for bronies.
Oh well, I can't judge or say anything because there is a Sailor Moon butt plug. I've seen it.
You know, it just reminds me of one time my friend pranked me. We went to Spencer's and
he gave you a My Little Pony butt plug.
No, it's worse. He went to the cashier and said, "Hey, can you just fuck with my friend over there?" And she goes, "Sure." And so she's like, "What can I help you find?" I was like, "I'm just looking at lip rings right now." He had snake bites at the time, and she's like, "Oh," she's like, "Well, you want a butt plug?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "Right over there." She's like, "Oh, we got one that has a tail? That would be," she's like, "It would really go well with you." And I'm like, I'm sitting there just like, what the fuck is happening? She's like, "Yeah, they're really great. I love them." And I'm like, whatever. And then I see my friends in the corner just laughing, just pretty much hacking up a lung. I look at her and she's like, "I'm sorry. They asked me. I had to do it."
I remember the first time I ever went into a sex shop, it was Cindy's back home in Houston. I was with my boyfriend at the time. We were talking about the real Western guy. We get to the big wall of dildos, and this guy, at the top of his lungs, the loudest he could say, "Look at that chocolate hot dog!" And I had to walk away, and I'm not even kidding. Right behind us were two women of color. He turned around, and they were just looking at him, and he turned around, and he was like, "How y'all doing?" And blocked me.
Oh my god.
What a gentleman.
They say chivalry is dead.
Just at the top of his lungs. "Look at that chocolate hot dog!"
Man, a few words. I like them. So, yeah. So there is also a vibrator that looks like lipstick. It's like a thing of lipstick. And then one shaped like an octopus. Another that looks like a corn cob.
You don't have to be lonely.
must be
FarmersOnly.com.
The dildo for Oscar fans.
That's very popular in Iowa.
No, they're not corn huskers, they're corn jerkers.
Corn inserters.
Corn inserters. No,
And this is, there's another one. It's a vibrator that has a 3D image of Justin Bieber's face attached to it.
Ew, what?
And this has to be one of the weirdest fucking things I have ever seen. It is so fucking weird.
That would be such a turn off.
And it's not even like, it's like a sculpture of Justin Bieber. It's not even like,
no.
it's so weird. And Justin Bieber of all people.
Ew.
Yeah, I know, right?
Maybe
So
you're like
People
12.
that buy those,
God.
buy it because they know that's all that they're gonna get from there on out.
Oh my god. It's
Well,
just
Logan, guess we need to go buy you one.
it's so weird.
I'm
You have to
kidding.
Google it. Anybody here that's listening to this, please Google that image. It's just it's so
I'd rather
fucking
not.
weird.
I'm kind of scared to Google it.
You should be. So since we talked about the past and the present,
Well, don't forget you do have the vibrating panties.
yeah. Did you know? I wrote this down. Alabama, it is illegal to own sex toys
Yep.
in the United
I did
States.
know that.
It is the only state. There's also certain precincts in the states of Georgia and Louisiana where it is illegal to own sex toys.
So is that why they're always so like happy that they have a bunch of cousins in Alabama?
Oh.
So I just love the fact that the state that almost elected a child molester to the Senate doesn't let you buy sex toys in it. What a fucked up bunch of people. So
Principles, people. Principles.
right, principles. Texas does not allow you to own more than 5 dildos.
It's actually more than 6.
It's no, I saw 5. I thought it was 6 or more, but you can Google that for verification.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can own as many guns as you want, but more than 5 dildos.
As of
You're
October,
a terrorist.
October last year, you cannot own more than 6 dildos in the state of Texas.
But the law's not really enforced.
What a
Yeah.
win.
So
Well, you know those like parties of like, yeah, those are supposedly illegal.
yeah, that's not. Yeah. So what's the future of sex toys? Well, it's robots and it's VR technology mostly.
Sadly.
There's also a $7,500 silicone doll that women can buy that is shaped like a man, has his junk proportional to what she wants, and that has kind of realistic features.
Crazy cat women of the world.
Oh
I'm kidding.
man, so there's robots, and the technology hasn't been perfected, so it's not on mass market right now. But that is the future of sex toys.
But if it's a robot, is it gonna have like
Excellent.
flesh feeling skin, not like a cold piece of metal that you're gonna like stick up your vag?
I don't
or,
know.
Like, stick
You're
your
still
dick
fucking
in?
a robot. I mean, I don't know.
Once Skynet gets activated,
Yeah,
they'll turn into
Skynet.
the female Terminator.
But you know what?
Hasta la vista, baby.
Those guys doing all those mass shootings, maybe they'll have something to fuck and they won't be so angry and do those mass shootings.
It's called a melon. It's like
yeah.
$5.
So,
I thought it was apple pie.
so
Love it.
I know no guy who's ever tried that. So, I have heard of guys doing the peanut butter dog trick though.
Ew.
Yeah.
I don't even.
You shouldn't. So,
I really don't want to hear about your history anymore.
not mine. I never did that. No. No, my dog is too small to lick my balls. Never
Things
done.
I
And
could've-
I
Did you say you
like
like him petite?
Things I could have gone without knowing for 200, Alex.
it. So, the technology for VR and robots has not been perfected though. And I got to tell you something. I can't fucking wait for those tech support calls. Can you?
It went soft in the middle, or it's stuck.
I'm fucking my sex robot and it's stuck and
It's like
I'm
that
all
episode
flaccid.
of The Big Bang Theory when Howard
The
had
clamp.
his robot. It was stuck.
The clamp went down too much and I don't know what to do. Did you try turning it on and turning it back off?
I can see it. Like it's almost like having
Did
a
you
cat,
try that, sir?
Where it's like almost having a cat, like a port membership. Like, okay, sir, what membership did you belong to? What site?
My dick's in a robot right now.
I'll keep
Could you
paying
just
that
help me
30.
out?
I love that. Did you try turning it on and off?
Right?
Did you try ejecting it?
Sometimes you have to turn the machine off and then turn it back on, and that will fix it.
But the machine should already be turned on. But
Yes, sir. Yes. Maybe try to find real woman instead of fucking sex robot.
she doesn't even enjoy it.
Do you know where the little wrench that came with her is?
Would you like to buy a tech support package? 3 years, $90, sir.
Think of calling Geek Squad.
Geek Squad. What if you did have to call Geek Squad to come help
my
you
God.
out? You were like, I'm
So,
stuck.
So yeah, that's the end. What'd you think, Logan?
I think it's pretty funny.
Okay, yeah, did you learn something?
I did. So what I'm gonna say is with robot, it's instead of like Geek Squad where they have to deal with customers getting fucked by a computer, they have to deal with the customer fucking the computer.
Yeah, like your robot.
What's the best way I should do this?
Your robot got hard for a little bit, but not too much, and he just kind of went.
What if
down.
it was like Xbox achievements type thing, and you're like, oh, you gave your robot an erection.
Did you try?
What if they put the wrong package on it?
Did you try?
I asked for a 5-inch. You gave me an 11.
Did you try, ma'am? Did you try tickling his balls for a little bit? That might reset him.
I just keep thinking of iRobot in my head.
No.
Call him a filthy bastard. He may wake up then.
All right, and that was an unorthodox episode of Shit You Didn't Know.
Hope you learned something, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen.
I'm Corey.
Keep it different. I'm Logan.
I'm Taylor.
And we appreciate Taylor coming on as our special guest. She's been very insightful and helpful.
Hopefully.
Yeah, too. But anyway.
Don't go to a sex shop with your country boyfriend.
Unless you want to have a good time. That's how it interesting.
At least not in Houston.
Just let him loose in the back corner of the bag of popcorn. Just watch the show.
All right, well, we're signing off. Please like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Just do it!